MarkLee, and I'm an Aspen resident. I've been here 15 years, and we wanted to get on the speak a little bit about the legends of Aspen, because we've been in Aspen. It seems like a short amount of time, but from our background, our history of what we've done since we've been here and who we've met. I did security for many years for Mr. Meeker, and I've met a lot of people that are historical type people from Aspen. And kind of what brought me here was I lived in Texas in the mountain area. I came here after a divorce, and my children lived here, and just fell in love with it and came on vacation. And you hear the story all the time, but this is a true story. I came on vacation and I never went back. And Aspen's always been such a party town, and we've had such a good policy with keeping a lot of things out that they have in Hollywood, and Aspen's very laid back as far as that goes. Is we don't, we never really allowed the paparazzi here. So celebrities come to Aspen because they feel comfortable and they don't feel pressured. And so, and then the party scene, you start with the Crawfords. They started all these wine parties, and myself and my wife Karen were host to 3 different parties between us, and I'm one of the youngest hosts of a party called the Tamale Party, and not like the wine party, it's going to be the last man standing. These guys are getting older, and they're bringing the parties down the hill. We're trying to renew this to keep the parties up the hill. And Aspen's just a fun place and a great place. And the history of Aspen is just unbelievable. And Karen knows a lot of stories herself. And I could go on for days and tell you all these stories about Hunter Thompson and Bob Broadus, our sheriff, and there's so many great stories.
Go ahead and pick one.
Sarah Diamond, like with Hunter Thompson, when I was here and I did security with Dave Meeker when they blew his ashes out, and there was thousands and thousands of people from all over the country came to see Johnny Depp, who spent $1.8 million supposedly to blow his ashes out of this cannon. That was Hunter's last wish, and Johnny was the actor. Depp was in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So as his dying last wish, Hunter's wish, Johnny decided to spend this money to have an elaborate party to blow Hunter's ashes out of this cannon, which he did. And the monument, when it was brought here, was put together piece by piece from a Hollywood set crew, and it was 5 foot taller than the Statue of Liberty. They had to have approval from the airport because it was in the flight pattern to build this thing. And when they blew his ashes out, it was a fist. Inside the fist, when it was closed, I have a picture of myself standing inside the fist. That's how big the fist was. Inside that was a peyote button, and they blew his ashes out of the top of it. And it was just a huge celebration of Hunter's life. And if you've ever heard or read anything about Hunter Thompson, he's an icon in himself. And he ran against Bob Broadus as our sheriff, and it was a huge thing in Pickens County at the time. And today, those posters, if you could grab your hands on one of Hunter Thompson running for sheriff, it's a piece of art. So that's just one of the stories. And when they had this, I was telling some people, there was a girl that came from Minnesota. She was in college, and she followed Hunter Thompson. He was a big, writer. He was a sports writer in the beginning, but there's a lot of kids in colleges that follow him and want to be writers like Hunter, because he didn't, he spoke his mind. He didn't hold anything back. So she hitchhiked all the way from there to come to this, and snuck into this party in camouflage. She walked through the mountains for miles to get there. And me being one of the head of securities with Dave Meeker, I get a call on my headset and said, we found this girl. She's underneath the car. It was Hunter's car. It was in the movie of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It was at the bottom of the monument, and she was under the car. How she got there, I don't know, with all these hundreds and thousands of people there celebrating. Bob Broadus was there, included himself, and we found her there. And immediately, our thought was, being security, we need to kick her out of here. Let's take her to jail or whatever we got to do, which is ridiculous in Aspen. That didn't happen. So Anita Thompson, what'd she say? Take her to Woody Creek Tavern. When the party's over, bring her back. I brought her back. Her and Anita became great friends. Anita gave her memorabilia of Hunter, and Anita was just touched the fact that this girl from college was such a follower. She was willing to risk her life almost to climb through these mountains to be close to this event. So that's just one of them.